In many of my videos, there has been a reoccurring theme of deconstructing reality. In earlier videos, I explored the blurred line between knowing and believing and examined how truth changes with perspective. More recently, my inquiries have led to insights about the illusory nature of the self, the paradoxical nature of change in the universe, and the limitations of our methods of inquiry. Ultimately, I argued that we can never truly access objective truth. Given these ideas, it might be easy to label me a postmodernist. I've said that answers can be true or correct in a relational or situational sense, and that multiple perspectives can be valid. These are indeed central themes in postmodernism. However, I'll explain later why I don't consider myself a postmodernist. I understand that deconstructing foundational beliefs can have negative implications. Seeing the foundationalistness of truth, reasons, and values can lead to a moral relativism where there is no real right or wrong. Cynicism can be fostered towards traditional institutions. Grand narratives that used to unite us are now torn down. And with nothing supporting us, we may be left with a sense of meaninglessness and a lack of direction or purpose. This isn't just theoretical. We see these ideas playing out in society today. We can see cultural relativism in the belief that no culture is better than another, leading to accusations of racism when criticizing problematic practices in other cultures, such as the treatment of women. We can see in popular culture the drive to tear down grand narratives and devolve into moral relativism. Beloved characters are torn down, and their virtues recast as toxic traits. The line between right and wrong blurs, with many stories attempting to rebrand villains as heroes. When talking about the show The Acolyte, an actor even said that in Star Wars there is no good or evil. Instead, it's about power.
The best parts about Star Wars is there is no good or evil. It depends on what side you're standing on.
This is a sentiment more fitting for a Sith than a Jedi or hero. When done well, blurring the lines between hero and villain can be very powerful. It reflects Alexander Solzhenitsyn's wise observation that the line dividing good and evil cuts through the heart of every human being. This is profoundly deep understanding of the human condition. However, what we're seeing in today's popular culture lacks this depth. Instead, movies, TV shows, and other media often present stories that demonstrate only a superficial understanding of morality and human nature. With each person being able to define their own truth, morality, and basically anything and everything about themselves, they elevate personal identity above all else. They are told the lie that this is empowering. But when everyone's truth is equally valid, we lose a common ground. It results in a society where people are increasingly disconnected from each other. We are left separate and alone. In my video, What is the Devil?, I explored what you would do if you had to invent the devil. What would the devil be like? I saw that everything good leads to connection with others. The ultimate connection would therefore be God. Therefore, if we take the devil to be the opposite of God, the devil is ultimate separation. The devil would love what is happening to society these days. The societal trends that we're seeing, which elevate personal identity above all else, align more with this idea of the devil and with the connection I've concluded exists at the heart of reality. This separation is the exact opposite of the conclusion that I came to in my videos. On the contrary, letting go of all of these beliefs actually connects us. we see that we're all one. What separates us is illusory. So, what went wrong? How did similar conclusions produce such different results? I believe there are two main reasons for this. First, I think the deconstruction didn't go far enough. While postmodern philosophers' deconstructive force was turned onto the self by getting rid of traditional ideas of the self and even the boundaries between the self and others, they did not push past the idea of the self into the realm of transcendence. Now, while I am familiar with some postmodern philosophers, there could be others that did talk about the transcendence of the self. And whether some did or didn't, the problem is that the people who took these postmodern ideas and put them into action definitely did not. So this leads to the second reason this all went wrong. When we get rid of beliefs, it leaves a kind of vacuum where the beliefs were. If we stay aware, we can feel the pull of wanting another belief to fill the place. Now, if we can resist that urge, we can then feel the freedom of being open to any possibility. However, if we're not aware, another belief will quickly take its place. Seeing that there isn't an ultimate truth, we can take on that insight as a new belief. Then, like any belief, that belief has to be protected. And to make matters worse, if we elevated the self to the highest position, then those beliefs of the self are also elevated. A new system of belief rises with the self at the top. And these beliefs work together, resulting in further separation. In contrast, my conclusions point to reality as an undivided unity, embodying both potentiality and actuality simultaneously. The self is an illusion, so I am nothing. And thus I have no boundaries. So instead of this leading to separation, it dissolves the distinction between I and everything else. Thus, all is one. We can understand these philosophical concepts, but we're still left with the practical challenge of living our daily lives. So how can we reconcile this deep understanding with our everyday responsibilities, work, and relationships? In my videos, Change in the Universe and Change in the Self, I talked about embracing paradox and seeing it as a feature of reality, not as a flaw. I suggested adopting a quadrilemmic logic where the possible values are yes, no, both, and neither. This seems to best match the complexity and totality of reality as an unified whole. I think this also points to how we can balance the philosophical understanding with everyday life. Metamodernism is a view of the world that combines the reason and rationality of modernism with the relativism of truth and the importance of diverse perspectives of postmodernism. It suggests a synthesis of modernist and postmodernist sensibilities. I think this points in the right direction. However, we're not looking at a synthesis of two philosophical views. Instead, we're looking to integrate a philosophical worldview with the practicalities of everyday life. The challenge is that our philosophical understanding of reality often seems at odds with our everyday experience. This is where embracing paradox and being open to the immense complexity of reality can really help us. As we've seen, reality cannot be broken down into nice little concepts that are easy to understand and to explain. Instead, we must let go of the beliefs that it can be conceptualized and rest in that alive unknowing. Then from there, reconnect with everything that we know, but in a lighter, more open way. The key is recognizing that we can hold both philosophical and practical understandings of the world simultaneously. Neither is inherently better. What matters is knowing when to apply each and how they can support each other. It's about moving freely between perspectives, using our rationality to explore our understandings of reality, and applying our philosophical insights to deepen our approach to everyday situations. This dual understanding allows us to navigate more flexibly and wisely. We can use our philosophical insights to gain a more mature and profound understanding of daily situations, while also using practical experiences to ground and test our philosophical ideas. The art lies in moving between them freely and playfully, embracing the full complexity of our existence. As Alan Watts said, life is a drama meant to be played. This reminds me of a lucid dream that I had. Throughout my life, I've had many lucid dreams. Now, because of this, I've had many opportunities to do whatever my heart desires. However, one problem that I often had was that when I became lucid, the dreams tended to end very quickly. This created a sense of urgency to quickly do whatever I wanted to do before the dream ended. In one particular dream, lucid dream, I initially felt that time pressure, but for some reason, I made a different choice. Instead of trying to control or change the dream, I just decided to simply go along with it. So I participated in all the bizarre scenarios that the dream presented, but I did it with full lucidity. And to my surprise, this became one of my most memorable dreams. It lasted far longer than my typical lucid dreams, and it ended beautifully with me watching the sunrise from my apartment window, a view that I didn't really have in waking life. After this dream, something changed. While I used to have lucid dreams a few times a week, they're now very rare. But I've developed a new kind of awareness. So it's not the standard lucidity I was accustomed to. Rather, it's where when I'm in the dream and emotions or the situation become too extreme, there's just this feeling that it's okay. It's just a dream and everything's going to be okay. So this awareness allows me to dream the dream fully while maintaining a sense of lightness. Now, this new dream state, I think, parallels the balance that we can strike between a philosophical understanding and practical living in our waking lives. Now, just as in these dreams, we can approach our waking life with a similar dual awareness. So we can fully engage with our daily experiences, responsibilities, relationships, while maintaining a broader perspective that everything is fundamentally okay. This balance allows us to navigate life's challenges with both practical effectiveness and a philosophical wisdom, leading to a richer, more fulfilling life. I hope you liked this video, and if you have any questions or comments, like always, please leave them in the comment section below. Until next time.